How's it going, everybody? I'm here to bring you another movie update. This one's going to be kind of short and sweet. No need to make this one super long, because obviously, as it is by the title, you can read. Yeah, there isn't really much to go off of right now other than a teaser trailer, or I should say announcement. But for many of the people that grew up on older films, we used to have a lot of edgy jokes and weren't afraid to push boundaries on the offensiveness or just make fun of other media. And we're kind of returning back to form, thank God, after a long standing of being very PC'd. We're just finally done with it, it seems like, and I would say for the better, because there's been too many times recently, obviously, where shows and movies were kind of affected by the woke, if you want to call it that, or more explanatorily, whatever, would be, the whole intersectional feminism kind of perspective that they've kind of shoved down people's throats, of the really strong female lead character that does no wrong and doesn't really have a hero's journey, as well as making the men obviously a laughing stock, and then alongside that as well, if they do have a female villain, the female villain ends up killing themselves or stopping themselves, and the hero doesn't really end up doing it. They just kind of talk no jutsu them out of it. And alongside that as well, you have the other part of that plate, which was, hold up, I'm making it out before I lose it. Right, the dilution of a lot of these properties, obviously oversaturation. Yeah, the characters were definitely not the way they used to behave. Passing the mantle, even if some of these things didn't really call for that. Having to be very much in your face of like, oh, this person's like this is that. This movie's gonna save lives or whatever, even though no, it's not. It's a fucking movie. Most of the time, it's just something to, escape from reality, especially with the crazy shit we got going on right now in past fucking year or so. Years, I should say, clarifying. But yeah, ultimately, I think that having this movie come out, kind of being more edgy, gets us to finally be able to make fun and be a little bit more offensive to everybody, right? Not just the protected class, as you could say, the whole LGBT people, trans, even for a lack of places, black people and other shit like that you can't really criticize them, otherwise you're being racist or homophobic or transphobic, whatever. But yeah, so with that, let us take a look at the trailer. I'm not going to play any audio other than what Mel Brooks says later on in the end, but we are going to look at the trailer. So no music until then. 38 years ago, there was only one Star Wars trilogy, but since then, there have been a prequel trilogy, a sequel trilogy, a sequel to the prequel trilogy, a sequel to the prequel, prequel to the sequel, countless TV spin-offs, a movie spin-off of the TV spin-off, which is both a prequel and a sequel, not to mention 2 Dune movies, 7 Jurassic Parks, 2 Avatars plus 3 upcoming Avatars, making it 5 Avatars, 36 movies with 2 different Robert Downey Jr.'s, DC Attempt Number 1, DC Attempt Number 2, an animated Lion King, a live-action animated Lion King, an live-action animated Lion King prequel, 8 Harry Potter movies, a TV series remaking the same 8 Harry Potter movies, a whole streaming service of Star Trek, 7 movies with 2 of which were also the Predator movies, not to be mistaken for 6 Predator movies that are not also Alien movies, 1 Prometheus, which is kind of an Alien movie, 4 Beetle movies, and finally, Oppenheimer. But in the 38 years, there's only ever been 1 Spaceballs, which again is true, right? 1 and done until now. So let's let it play out a little more, and then we will unmute this bitch.
For 40 years, we asked what do the fans, but instead we're making this one. Mega Schwartz.
There you go. Coming out in 2027. That's going to be fucking crazy. Obviously, 2 years from now. God bless that, Mel Brooks is able to stay with us. But, yeah, I think that's pretty insane, to say the least. It is good that we're kind of returning back to form, like I said. People got to be edgy. People got to be able to take offense to some of this shit. If you don't like it, don't watch it, right? It was kind of ridiculous having to step away from that stuff because it really affected comedy quite a bit. And when you think about it, no jokes should really be off the table. That is what gives comedians and other entertainers, right, the ability to have such a plethora of ammunition. And unfortunate as it may be, yes, we do not have some of the original cast being able to return, unfortunately, because yes, they did pass away. Joanne Rivers. Was I wrong? Was it John Candy? If not, it was Chris Farley. I'm pretty sure it was Chris Farley. Maybe it was John Candy. Maybe I'm mixing them up. My bad. I'm sorry. I apologize if I am. But the good thing is, some of the people that are, or at least the ones that are returning, quite a bit of them have kids, and some of their kids, the guy who plays the Han Solo parody guy, he's gonna have his son, I believe, be in this film as well, which would be pretty good. You can kind of make fun of the whole Han Solo movie, right? Something like that. What else you got there? I don't know. I feel like it's very open to interpretation what you can do and make fun of, right? You can even make some character be called the Mary Sue, who is just good and great at everything and can never fail and is basically the joke of the whole fucking movie. Just possibilities are there, right? Yeah, I would say I'm happy to be able to see anything like this kind of return because I haven't really gone to see any movies as of late. I will be watching the 28 whatever the zombie movie Years Later. That's not 28 Years Later unless it's something else. I know it's something along those lines, right? Unless it is 28 years later. Who knows? I can't remember right now. I'm not bothering to look it up. I remember some other movie that I had seen in theaters was The Menu. What else? Deadpool, Wolverine. I think it was Guardians 3 as well. I believe so. Unless I saw that at home. I don't remember. But I haven't really seen any movies in theaters. But Spaceballs 2 would definitely be one of those that fall in line with wanting to go to the movies and experience it in that setting. Because, well, for one, I was too young. I wasn't even born during the time that the first one came out. Again, 38 years ago. So let's backtrack. Yeah. I'm only 29, so that's 9 years. Is it 9 years? Yeah, 9 years behind what I was able to. Whatever. So yeah, it'd definitely be great to be able to experience that kind of stuff, especially since hearing that even the scary movies are going to be making their return soon, the parody ones, right? Because we need that. We need to be able to make fun of bad stuff and good stuff, right? It's just kind of what always used to be with comic book and nerd culture and things like that, right? As well as just entertainment in general. Because if you can't laugh at yourself, then can't really, you'll be taking the world too seriously, right? Shit like that. So, didn't try to make it too long. Sorry if I rambled on a bit too much. Hopefully my ugly mug was enough for you guys. But with that being said, let me know down in the comments below what y'all thought about this. Are you excited for Spaceballs 2? And obviously, do we have high hopes that Mel Brooks makes it till then? Because bro is pushing 99. It would be a shame if anything happened to him, knock on wood. But, we definitely have the possibility of having a great film handed to us by a great director and actor. So let's just pray and hope that it actually works out, plays out as we anticipate it. And with that being said, Ace Shinigami signing out. Y'all have a good night, good evening, and good morning. It's been my pleasure. Bye.